So, hey you guys, and welcome back to my channel for another video. This is just gonna be a one take because I just realized that all of the footage for this video is gone for some reason and it needs to go up today, and it is now about 8 o'clock at night. So this is a really quick run through of all the books that I read in January, and I'm sorry if I'm stuttering and whatnot. I've had a long day. So the first book that I read is Ready Player One by Ernest Cline. I gave it 3 out of 5 stars just because I didn't think that it was the best book. I didn't think it was the worst book. I think it'll transfer really well into movie format, and I can't wait to go see it with my boyfriend later this year. But it's not the best. I honestly didn't love it. I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it. It was really just a book that I wanted to get done. I've wanted to read it for a little while, so I just wanted to get it done. The next book that I read was Caraval by Stephanie Garber. This book I gave 4 out of 5 stars. I really liked it. I really like the idea of people going into a world of nonsense or weirdness where all the rules are totally different. I really, really enjoy that, and I really, really like that, so I'm so happy that I finally got to read this. It's definitely 4 out of 5. I'm really not sure if I'm gonna read the next book that comes out in February or March. I'm not sure if I'm going to continue it. We'll see. I did read this via audiobook, and I really did like the audiobook. Just as a side note, you know? The next book I finished, Red Queen, which took forever for me to finish, but I did really like that. I think I gave that a 4 out of 5 stars. It was pretty typical. I can't wait to continue the series. I definitely will, but I don't know. It just took me forever to read. It felt like one of those books that I just got stuck on, so it felt like it, for me, could cause a reading slump, and I wasn't the biggest fan of that. The next book that I read, I have most of them in a pile unless I read them on audiobook and borrowed them from the library. I read Anti-Goddess. This is by Kendare Blake. She also wrote Anna Dressed in Blood. People said that Anna Dressed in Blood was a lot better. I've never read any of her stuff, and I really did like this. I couldn't wait to get on to the next one, which I read later in the month. I really do like Greek mythology. I actually bought this entire series on Black Friday through Book Outlet, so I'm definitely not upset about that purchase. I think that it is really good, and I'm glad that I bought all of them at the same time. So that one I gave a 4 out of 5 stars. I just felt like it was really easy and didn't really delve into the characters' motives very much. So I also felt like everyone was kind of 1D, not very dimensional. So I hope, I don't know. I liked it. I liked it though. I liked it even though the characters were pretty one-dimensional and it was pretty low interest or difference. I thought it was good. It was good. I liked it. I just liked it. We're gonna go with that. The next book that I read was Hollow City, which I borrowed an audiobook from the library again. I read Miss Peregrine's in December, so obviously I had to continue with Hollow City. I gave that a 5 out of 5. I really loved it. I really do love those books, and I am so happy to continue the series, and I am still kicking myself that I waited forever to actually go read them. The next book that I read was Every Heart a Doorway. I gave that book a 5 out of 5 stars for how short they were. I really, really did like it. I really enjoyed it, and I am so happy that I got a chance to read it. I love that world and that idea, and I can't wait to explore that world more in further books. The next book that I read was also on audiobook. During this entire time, for some reason, I just couldn't get through Red Queen because I think that was the only book that I actually sat down and read this month. My mom's coming home. 1 second. Alright, so gotta hurry up here. So the next book that I read once again on audiobook was Daughter of the Burning City. I really did like this book. I wasn't quite in the mood for a mystery, but it was super duper good, and I really did like it. I probably won't continue on that world though. I definitely give it a 4 out of 5 stars. I loved it, but I can't give it 5 out of 5 stars. I'm trying to be a little bit more picky about what I give 5 out of 5 stars. The next book that I read was Zenith, which was a new release. I was super happy that I was the first one to get that on loan from my library. I really did like it. I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars just because I wasn't the biggest fan. I'm not the biggest fan of sci-fi, and there were just so many characters, and it was a little overwhelming. So I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars, but it was definitely a good book, and I definitely suggest that you go check it out. The next book that I read was Wonder Woman Warbringer by Leigh Bardugo. This was amazing. I have been waiting to read this for so long. I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars, though, just because I didn't feel like there was a ton of drive. I don't know, just something didn't click with me in the story. I really liked it. I really enjoyed it. I loved it. I didn't connect completely with it, though, and I think that if I did read the comics, it would have been good. I did go through and annotate it, though, after I read the audiobook, just because it was really good, and I really did like a lot of the lines. So from there, I moved on to Mortal Gods, which is the second book in the Goddess War series, right after Anti-Goddess, which I read earlier in the month. This was also really good. I felt like it was a lot of filler, though, and I can't wait for the next book because I think the last book will go out with a huge bang, and I can't wait to read it, hopefully in February. And the second to last book I read was Inkheart. I reread this through the audiobook, and it was as amazing as I remember it. I was so happy with it. Absolutely amazing. And I annotated this copy of it as well. And this little bug on the back bothers me, but I absolutely love it. I absolutely love this book. It's one of my favorites. It is one of my all-time favorites, and I don't think I could ever get mad if someone told me to reread it. I am hoping to reread Inkspell in March, so that is coming up soon, and I will have a book chat about this and rereading books. And the last book that I read, which I finished yesterday, which was January 30th, was Empress by S.J. Kincaid. It is the second book in the Diabolic series. I felt like this one was a lot of filler too. I finished it in 2 days via the audiobook. I listened to it while I was out shopping. I did think it was good. I found myself drifting off a lot, but overall it was pretty good. I give that one 4 out of 5 stars just because I didn't feel like there was a ton of meat, and I really didn't like the road that Tyrus took. I have some complications with it, but I'm really hoping that there will be another book that kind of clears the slate a little bit and gets me hyped about the series again, because I left it absolutely hyped and I was so happy with it. Anyways, that's it for this video. I'm honestly not going to post a February TBR because Inkheart and Empress and Mortal Gods were all supposed to be done in February. But I know that I will be reading Thunderhead and Gothic Lolita. I also have Mask of Shadows in on loan from the library. So yeah, that's kind of a brief February TBR and what I read in January. So I will talk to you guys later. Please like this video if you like seeing videos like this. Comment down below what you read in January or what you are excited to read in February. Subscribe to this channel and feel free to check out my blog. I post there 3 times a week. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye!